Jimvitational play-ins has begun, folks. High-stakes gaming returns. These players are competing for a prize. These are some of the strongest up-and-comers Gen 3 has to offer. And this is a matchup I was eager to commentate myself. Kalaveet versus DarthTyros in the Ruby bracket for play-ins. Kalaveet you may recognize from the commentary on ADV Revival. A strong player. Relative newcomer to the scene compared to fellas like McMagan and whatnot, but has proven to be a strong competitor, topping ladder, doing well in tournaments. DarthTyros, much the same. Both started playing around the same time, I believe, and have both improved and become powerful, formidable fellows. And this is just classic, a Glalie versus Vaporeon. Kalaveet, one of the Glalie pioneers of recent times. Running some interesting EV spreads on the Pokemon, like more bulky ones, I believe. And this is a leftovers Vaporeon from DarthTyros. Interestingly. Kalaveet just going to blow up on the Vaporeon. Got 2 spikes to show for it, though. And that's smart to break this up. Now Jolt is posing a threat. Glalie Jolt spikes is such a bold choice for game 1 of the Jimvitational. Imagine that. We'll see how it plays out. So we'll be successfully leech seeding the incoming Tar. That's good for Darth. It forces it out even. Went for the Doug trap right away. I think Doug would now be in range of hidden power. No, that's the bulkiest Doug in history. My gosh. Kalaveet got caught off guard by how bulky that Doug was. My word. Got a lot of special defense. I mean, that's the safest way to eliminate Blissey. You just dump as much special defense as you can in there. Anyway, Kalaveet lost his most powerful threat. That's problematic. Wow, incredible pivot back into Doug, calling out the Tyranitar switch, getting another KO. This is the greatest Doug ever. Look at that. Alright, Kalaveet all of a sudden, who was off to a fantastic start, now in shambles a little bit. Only 3 Pokemon remaining. Doug just sacrificing itself for a safe entry point. Gengar is faster than this Jirachi, but it's a rough situation. Kalaveet pivots to Moltres, maybe lives a Thunderbolt. Or maybe there's no Thunderbolt on this particular Jirachi. That would be positive. It's Psychic, yeah. Flamethrower doesn't even KO. That's not good enough. This Jirachi looks like it might just sweep. A neutral Psychic is going to do a lot. And if there's no Thunderbolt, I feel like there's probably HB Grass. Never mind, just Psychic, but still. I mean, Kalaveet's team is way too low at this point. It's way too low. Maybe the Gengar can make a miracle happen, get an Ice Punch freeze. Oh, that's a Torrent. You know what? That's a lot of damage. Gengar can probably finish this off now. And could a Moltres clean it up? A Moltres can almost clean it up. I think the last... What is the last? Darth is going to get his own big Hydro Pump with Torrent Boost, though. Now Gengar's damn low. Unfortunately, no grass coverage on this particular Gengar. Only Ice Punch revealed from it. I mean, you could freeze this Celebi. It's probably what you got to go for at this stage. Go for the freeze. It's the best you have. Went for the maybe catch a Leech Seed or something. Moltres just dropped to a Psychic. That dealt 40%. And that was quite an opening for DarthTyros in game 1. My gosh. Starting things off with a bang. Incredible. Now we have a Milo lead from Kalaveet, bringing something probably slower paced. Or it could be a Magneton offense. Those are usually the 2 archetypes you see Milo on commonly. Is Kalaveet a bulky raw Zapdos? It didn't take too much from that Thunderbolt. Maybe it is. That would make sense as to why you're going here. Yeah, it is Rest Zapdos. But DarthTyros is applying a lot of pressure early on here once again. Sleep Talk Zapdos looks like. So it could roar this Celebi out if it gets the right roll. And does not look to be Carmine. I guess it could be Carmine Leech Baton Pass. That set's been on the rise. Or something of that ilk. Swampert from Darth. A good double back to Zap there. Kalaveet revealing Claydol. It is indeed a pretty defensive-looking team. HP Ice not only hits the Claydol, it also hits the incoming Zapdos, so that's good for some people. Good sub, I suppose. You can go for the T-Bolts here. If one of them crits, you're in a good spot. Sleep Talk's gonna roll Roar. Wonder if Darth wants to... Does he have spikes or some way to establish, like, a foot in the door in terms of making progress, you know? We'll say that Kalaveet's team, most of it is floating so far, but you have to expect there to be a Blissey or something. Some grounded defensive Pokemon to punish. Darth BP's out there to the Celebi. Wonder what kind of Celebi we're looking at. It is Carmine Leech, it is actually. And HP Fire, dealing a significant 55% to Skarmory. It goes for it again. There was a bit of a mind game there. Sometimes the Skarm protects out of range of the second HP Fire. And wow, this Celebi also just lives the Dug HP bug. I mean, most of them are EV to do so. But gee whiz. Kalaveet with 2 Pokemon down. Most significantly, the Skarmory, the most valuable defensive engine on the team, is now deceased. But Darth with special offense, I guess. He's got the beat-up bulky Dug, the trademark. This Ice Beam is not going to KO Dug. It will not. And we can only assume that in the back is some more special threats on Darth's team. What are we looking at though? Starmie maybe would be good. Starmie would clean this up. It is a Ludi. Should you go straight there though? Should you go straight to Ludi? I suppose so. Yeah, the Zap can just heal. You can't actually sack a Dug cleanly there. True. Alright, I mean, Ludicolo is looking well poised. I think the problem though is, do you have Grass Move or not? Because this Milo might be a problem to break through. As will the Rest Zap. Rest Zap's specially bulky, so not the world's easiest thing to actually break through, even if you have eliminated Blissey. So Darth has an uphill battle, maybe. Pressuring Milo quite a bit, though, with the Leech and the Dug Earthquakes. Getting Zap in. I mean, I think Zap can almost clean this up. There's a bit of a mind game here. You're going to hit the Claydol incoming. You do. Nice move, Darth. Nice HP Ice there, predicting the incoming Claydol. Now you BP out. Is Claydol going to explode on this Ludi? That would be enormous. It does. It blew up on the Ludicolo. DarthTyros better have a good enough threat to finish this off. Maybe just the Zapdos does it. But honestly, the Rest Zap is pretty bulky, and there's no sand here. There's no sand up. So Rest Zap is very sturdy. I think just living in another Thunderbolt and two good Sleep Talk outcomes does get the Thunderbolt. Could have also got Roar. And my gosh, gonna rest all that health all the way back up. All of DarthTyros' effort down the drain. Rest Zap is a fantastic set, folks. This is the... And Rest Sleep Talk Zap, it's better than it sounds because, like I said, there's 2 good outcomes from Sleep Talk, unlike some other Sleep Talkers. A fast Roar is really strong. Is this just going to PP stall the Swampert? I mean, honestly, Melodic 1v1s this pretty easily. And what the hell is in the back? Rain Dance Swampert is crazy. Must be another rain threat in the back then. Melodic is just entered and it's going to heal all the way back. Yeah, Kingdra can't break this. No way. Unless it gets a freeze, it has to go for an Ice Beam freeze at this point. It has to go for an Ice Beam freeze. Oh, a substitute might do it. The substitute, I didn't expect that. That's actually, that might do it because it times for resist surf. And he is going for the freezes. He's got good odds, folks. He's got good odds to hit freeze. Okay, I actually think Darth wins this now. You can just keep going for freeze. The Melodic cannot touch this. It cannot. You got the freeze. The problem though is that you kind of do 0 damage to this. Now that I'm thinking about it. You got a Rain Dance up. And it's chip healing. This is such an awkward game. Hydro Pump does 29. Okay, so it has to never thaw. It's a 20% flat chance to thaw every single turn. And it did thaw and it's just going to recover all the way back. This is so rough. You got to go for the freezes again, DarthTyros. I think Milo might honestly just literally sit here. Now that I think of this, I thought he had it, but without HP Electric or really anything, maybe there's no way you can go for a PP still playing against Milo because Recover has 32 PP. That's the problem. Oh dear. This can be the issue with double rain like Ludi plus Kingdra is that they're kind of checked by the same things, so they don't really cover each other's weaknesses. If you eliminate Blissey, you kind of only need one Swift Swimmer, and then it's usually better, in my opinion, to run a different special threat to cover other matchups, like something strong against Melodic would really be helping out here, but Melodic kind of just... And that being said, the Claydol Explode on Ludicolo was clutch. That turn probably carried Kalaveet to victory here. Not that it's over, but I think that... I don't see how DarthTyros actually breaks through this, to be honest. As unfortunate as it is. Especially because Hydro Pump only has 8 PP, and you've already used 2 of them. Let's go ahead and put this replay on fast mode because it might take a while to actually finish this one off. It might take a while. It's one of those end games. Sandless. This is what sandless can happen. Can do to you. Sometimes. See how powerful something like Res's Aptos is in the sand? Without the sand, sorry. And landed a Toxic on the Swampert. Went for Hydro Pump, actually. Makes sense while Rain is up for a turn. I think Kalaveet has solved it. Because the Swampert is toxic and therefore cannot come in and sit on the Zap anymore, and he's forfeited. It's over. And game 3. Down to the wire here. Darth Sidious against Tyranitar on turn 1. Is DarthTyros bringing special offense again? He loves it. He loves special offense. The Zap lead with Vatten Pass. It raises the alarm bells. The Crunch dealing unexpected damage to Swampert, I'm sure. Whoa, just crits Forretress outright. Okay, that's quite an advantage. That's quite a start. And it's DarthTyros' worst nightmare, Blissey. The Pokemon Blissey. Oh, it's Calm Mind Blissey. Well, that's interesting. You gotta be wary of Earthquake, obviously. Yeah, just gonna exit. I wonder if that Calm Mind was a bit of a... was necessary? Maybe it's better just go for a straight up Ice Beam. to, one, not reveal your set, and also potentially chip Swamp it a bit and have the freeze chance. Maybe that means that it's not Ice Beam, it's HB Grass or something. Which you would need the extra special attack to one-hit Doug after. Anyway, back to the present moment. Gengar has Hypnosis and Melodic is asleep. So that's pretty bad for Kalaveet. Mash does break Substitute from Zapdos, but there's a missed chance on it, of course. Swampert obviously going to wall Metagross. And a potentially risky switch to Salamence there, but it was unrevealed at this point. So I would consider that... Oh, that was a good Dragon Claw. Hitting the incoming Gengar. The Gengar was trying to come in on HP Grass there, but the Dragon Claw is enough after Sand to KO. Going for Dragon Claw again. Wow, that was such a bold stay in as well, because Suicune could very easily just have Ice Beam and click it there. Going Blissey now. There's some good psychological gaming from Kalaveet. Doing the unexpected stay in and the switch out on the next one. I wonder if he stays with this Blissey now, catching like Swampert going for Ice Beam actually to hit the Salamence. No, Darth just goes for an Earthquake, which is 43. That's a lot of damage. We can assume the Blissey is modest, obviously. Nice thing about Sleeping Melodic is that it has Marvel Scale. It has boosted defense. That's good. Go back Blissey. This is a heal opportunity, but the Celebi could do some shenanigans. It could Carmine Pass. Obviously could Leech Seed Blissey. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Almost trapped Blissey. Almost caught it healing, but... Okay, now that could be interesting. Now the Doug is chipped, so that means it can't eliminate Blissey anymore. Unless it double switches into Blissey before it heals, which is a pretty hard thing to do. But it's possible. Because Zap can Baton Pass, Suicune can invite in Blissey, and the Wish from Salamence is going to heal up Blissey. That might even just seal the game. That might just seal the game, because now Blissey cannot be Dugged. Dugtrio is too low to live Blissey's Ice Beam. And Blissey is confirmed to have Ice Beam. Gets the freeze. Celebi can, of course, just natural cure that off. Not the end of the world. Got the Leech Seed, that's what counted there. Stopping the Carmine. But I think Kalaveet has successfully maneuvered around this Dugtrio game plan. Zap can Baton Pass to Doug, but at this point, like I said, Blissey lives the beat up. Maybe the beat up hits can crit, or it gets low enough to fall to a follow-up Earthquake from Swampert or Hydro Pump from Suicune or something. Beat up still doing considerable damage, of course. But Blissey is alive. It is alive. It's on 26%. Darth is going for this plan. Trying to bring Blissey low. All Kalaveet needs to do is heal one more time and it's basically over. If you heal once more with Blissey, it's pretty much done. Unless the Suicune can somehow do an endgame miracle, that does happen. If it does have rest on it, but with Hydro Pump revealed, that suggests it might not have rest, actually. It might be a more directly aggressive Suicune set when it's running Hydro Pump. But you do sometimes see rest talk with Hydro Pump. That could be possible. Probably not talk with Ice Beam, though. That wouldn't fit everything. Interesting. There was an explosion mind game there. Kalaveet hesitant to actually pull the trigger on explosion. Goes for it now though. And now Suicune's good. That was like the last real thing that could have done it. Salament's faster than this Zapdos as well. Goes for the Wish to heal up Blissey safely. Wish doesn't kick in yet though. But the Zapdos Thunderbolt wouldn't have done enough. Maybe you had to go for the Thunderbolt crit there was the only way. But who knows? Maybe this Swampert can actually make something happen. Problem is it gets toxicked. If it stays, you gotta go Celebi. Even this Toxic on Celebi is applying a bit of pressure, to be honest. But Leech Seed is good. DarthTyros is going to need to pressure Melodic with like the combination of Leech Seed, maybe maneuvering Zap in, and somehow pressuring Blissey at the same time, maybe with the Swampert. Maybe what you do is you try to go for a freeze against the Melodic. Like Melodic might want to come in an Earthquake here, so you just throw out an Ice Beam, freeze it maybe, and that's your plan. That could work. Doubling back to Celebi. Leech Seed is a really good move here. Punishes both fellas. But Blissey is just a stone wall. How do you get through it? How do you do it? It also has Calm Mind on it. So the Calm Mind turns it into a win con itself. If Swampert ever goes down, it's lights out. It can outpace the Celebi in an endgame, even with Leech Seed. Let's put this one on fast mode too. We're in for a potentially long endgame here, folks. There's a slim chance for DarthTyros, but it is doable. Leech Seed on the Blissey as its Calm Minding is a good start. And to be honest, the Celebi might be able to make something happen with its own Calm Mind, which was just revealed. This whole game, the Ice Beam crit does seal it. That actually might have won. That was just revealed. I wasn't sure if it was Calm Mind. Makes perfect sense, obviously, on the team. Another Leech Calm Mind Celebi. I mean, this Blissey is damn low. Maybe the Zapdos crits it or something here. And it is very punished by Leech Seed. The problem is that now Celebi's gone and can never Leech Seed again. But if you somehow eliminate Melodic, you're subseeding this Blissey. So this is actually not a bad spot. Wait a minute. This is yet another interesting spot. A hard one to evaluate, because Zapdos can continuously subseed this Blissey and just sit there Thunderbolting, eventually getting a crit perhaps. Maybe paralyzing the Blissey too, disabling it from healing. If this loops enough, a Paralyze will eventually come. Crits will eventually come. Thunderbolt has a lot of PP, more than Soft Boiled does. And Melodic can never enter, because it just drops to Thunderbolt. Might be worth just switching out for Kalaveet, just to get rid of this damn Leech Seed. But the problem there is that Swampert might beat Blissey, with Melodic gone. You know, folks? So, very awkward spot. How will this... By the way, Darth never getting a para? Or any kind of break? Never getting anything? How are we looking on soft-boiled? 10 left. DarthTyros with 11 substitutes left. 11 Thunderbolts also. Might just run out of Thunderbolts. Oh, there it is. Kalaveet comes in with Melodic on the Zapdos subbing. And that seals it. That will seal it. Because Melodic is still up to handle Swampert. And Blissey is no longer seeded and can 1v1 Zapdos much easier because it's not re-healing all the health it loses from substitutes. So eventually, Zap will fall with now limited HP. And there is a clear avenue for victory for Kalaveet right here. Although, look at this, look at this. You got this sub on the damn Swampert now. Freeze it, freeze it. It's the only way. The only way is to freeze this. Or crit, I guess. But freeze has higher chance. Even freezing doesn't really do anything, to be honest, folks. Because it gives the guy Marvel scale. And then he's going for the freeze at the last moment, but it doesn't hit. With little else to do. Oh, it's refreshed the whole... It's refreshed the whole time. And here's the freeze, the one we've been waiting for. And here it is. And here is the freeze. And Melodic will never thaw out in its life. Never. And right about now. Nah. This is what you gotta go for in this spot. It's the only way. Oh, Toxic's the Zapdos coming in. That seals it beyond reproach. That the game is sealed in time. Oh, wait a minute, though. Because Darth is now out of range of Melodic Surf, and he can click Ice Beam once more. For an additional chance at the big bucks. An additional chance at the prize. One more for the road. And it didn't come. If that freeze hit, it might have been lights out. Oh, no. Because Swampert's too low. It just gets defeated by Blissey after it comes in. That wouldn't have worked. But it's a valiant effort from DarthTyros. Just trying everything at the end here. But you got to give some props to Kalaveet. It's literally a bad matchup for him. Blissey has the primary special ball against Bulky Doug's special offense. But... it's so tempting with that when that Blissey was on 40 health against the Celebi, it's so tempting to just heal. But that's a very astute move by Kalaveet to go Tyranitar on that turn. I need you guys to appreciate that move. Because that invites the Doug to Earthquake. And Tyranitar can therefore crunch the Doug, bringing it so low that it can no longer 1v1 Blissey. Which is the most important thing in the matchup. And that was the seed that grew into a victory. We must appreciate that move. That was the game-winning play. That was it. There was a bit of good luck, I'll admit. The Ice Beam crit on the Celebi was good luck, but DarthTyros was in a very bad spot after that particular move by Kalaveet. Anyway, folks. Kalaveet moving on in the Ruby bracket. And shout out to the donators. Banana Spice was the first donator of the tournament. Thank you, with $50. I Hate Canadians with another $50. Buzzed with $25, who says, Zach PZ is our unsung special perfect boy, and he's the best. Love Buzzed. Thank you, Buzzed. Anonymous F with $5 says, this is a payment to combat the threat of the Pokemon Iron Mugulus. Thank you very much. That's very important. And Anonymous C with $5 says, just wanted to chip in a little bit to show support. Thank you. Well, thank you, Anonymous C. If you'd like to donate, there is a PayPal link in the description, and I will read out your donation message if I happen to be commentating. Thank you, folks. Stay tuned for more Jimvitational coverage.